Welcome to Sports with Charity Chambers. Sports with Charity Chambers. Now here's your host, Miss Charity Chambers.
Howdy, welcome to Sports with Charity. I'm Charity Chambers, and I've decided to add a new segment to my show called Football Explained. And what I'm going to be doing, what the segment is going to be me basically just explaining football and the gist of football, different formations, different plays, etc. So this first video is really just going to be a very simple, basic video just for people who really don't know anything about football, don't know anything about offensive players. And so if you already know a lot about football, then this video won't be for you. But hey, I would love for you to stick around so you may even learn something too, because I will be adding a little bit of random information in there that a lot of people may not even know. So like I said, this week I'm going to be focusing on the offensive side of the ball and the functions of each and every one of the players. So I'm going to be playing a little bit of footage behind me so you guys know who I'm talking about while I'm explaining to you guys what they do on the field. So I want to start off by just telling you guys what exactly the offensive line is. We're going to start from there. The offensive line, their job is really just to block. Their job is to block, whether it's a run play, whether it's a pass play, and that's just their job. Now, the offensive line consists of several different positions and players. So let's start off with the center. So the center is the person who begins the play from the line of scrimmage. And the line of scrimmage is just where the ball starts off. The defensive side can't come on until the ball snapped. So you have the center who is going to start with the ball, and he's going to snap the ball back to he's going to snap the ball usually to the quarterback. And so once he snaps the ball, his job is to, guess what? It's to block. So he snaps the ball, and then he just starts blocking. Next, we have the offensive guards. Now, usually you have two guards that line up on each side of the center, and these are the offensive guards. So, like all the linemen's job, you remember what I said at first, like all the linemen's job, their job is to block. Their job is just to block. And a lot of times you will see them blocking the person directly in front of them, but sometimes you may see them doing what you call a pull. And that's just when the guard comes out of his position to in line to lead block for a ball carrier for plays known as traps, sweeps, screens, stuff like that. So he may not block directly in front of him, but nevertheless his job is still to block so they can move the ball down the field. Now, outside of the guards, you have the tackles. Now, once again, you guys, guess what their job is to do? To block. Their job is to block. So for a right-handed quarterback, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Blind Side, but the left tackle is the most important person on the offensive line when it comes to a right-handed quarterback, because he's going to protect his blind side, and usually that left tackle is the most skilled person on the offensive line. And so he has a really important job in really protecting the quarterback. And also, like the offensive guards, an offensive tackle may have to pull on some plays. Now, let's get into what I like to call the fun positions on the offensive side of the ball. So let's start off with the quarterback. So the quarterback is usually the leader of the offense line. At the start of the play, the quarterback can line up in one of three positions. If he is directly in contact with the center, if he's basically like right under the center, and
receives the ball from the center like that,
he is to be said under center. Simple enough, under center. Now, if he is lined up, the quarterback is lined up some distance from the center, then he is said to be in the shotgun. And he can also be in between. He can be in between under center and in between shotgun, and that's called a pistol formation, okay? So you have those two, under center, in the shotgun, and pistol formation. So now once the quarterback's all lined up and ready to go and the ball is snapped, he has three basic options on what he can do with the ball. He can either run the ball, he can pass the ball, or he can hand off the ball to the running back, who we're going to talk about next, and let him run the ball. And oftentimes you may see the quarterback running, he's looking to throw the ball, and all of a sudden you notice that he takes off running. And usually that's to prevent him from being sacked. And sack just means tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So now let's talk about the running backs. And his job is pretty simple. It sounds his name sounds like what he does. His job is to run the ball. So he receives the ball from the quarterback and he executes a running play. And running backs come in several different varieties. You have tailback, fullback, halfbacks, and that's a little bit more on the advanced side, so I'm not going to really get into that today. Just know that their job is really to run the ball. So next, let's talk about the wide receivers. Probably my favorite position on offense. When I play Madden, I just love to do pass plays all the time. Like, that's basically all I do. But okay, so the wide receivers, their job is just to catch the ball. And that's really their main job, to run a route and get open for a pass. Some plays you may see, instead of worrying about catching the ball, their main job is just to block. But on most cases, they will be trying to get open to receive the ball from the quarterback, or if it happened to be a trick play, the running back threw the ball. But let's not get into all that. And this is the last offensive position I will be talking about, the tight ends. And honestly, wide receiver and tight ends are pretty similar. They're a lot alike. The tight ends, you can consider them a kind of a hybrid player. They're kind of a mix between a wide receiver and an offensive lineman. They play next to other offensive linemen. Because they play next to the other offensive linemen, they are, they're called on to block at times, but since they are eligible receivers, they can also catch passes. So basically, they're part offensive lineman, part wide receiver, but a lot of times when people are saying this tight end, more than likely they caught the ball. And that's what you will see a lot of them doing. All right, so I hope you know a little bit more about those offensive players. Comment down below if you have any questions. Next week, I will be talking about the defensive side of the ball and what different players they are, what their functions are, basically just like how I did the offensive side of the ball. And after that video, then we'll be getting into the really fun stuff, the more intermediate, the more advanced stuff, the really, really fun stuff, talking about different plays, different formations, and I think you guys will really enjoy that. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this with people who don't know anything about football, your girlfriend, your wife, share this to anybody. All right, thanks so much again for watching. I'm Charity Chambers, and that's Football Explained.